Before starting this video, I would like to thank Samsung Caribbean for sending this in for review.
Now, when I first heard about Samsung's Fan Edition phones, only one thought came to mind, that these must be stripped down versions of the base S-line models with a few compromises here and there. However, after using the S21 FE for a few days, I have to say that it's very similar to the S21, to the point in which I'm like thinking why they needed to release this at all. That doesn't mean it's not a good phone, but that's just a question that you'll probably be thinking as you're watching this video. So check out this review.
The S21 FE has a very similar design as the S21 with just a few differences. The back is now plastic with a soft matte finish which does well against fingerprints. The camera at the back is shaped similarly as the S21's, but rather than connecting to the metal frame, it is more of an extension of the back. To me, this is kind of a visual downgrade in the overall design, but it is something I can live with. The phone is more comfortable one-handed and lighter in the hand than my old reliable S20 Plus. It also has IP68 dust and water resistance, so it can definitely manage a dip in the water.
For a phone that's supposed to be like a light version of the S21, I have to say, even with the plastic matte back, it does feel premium to me and very comfortable to hold and easy to carry even in your pocket. I'm not one to go for a lavender color for a smartphone, but I have to admit, it looks pretty snazzy.
The display is a 6.4-inch Full HD 1080p AMOLED display with Gorilla Glass Victus, HDR10 Plus, and 120Hz refresh rate. This is even bigger than the S21's display, which is at 6.2 inches. As expected of Samsung mobile displays, color accuracy is really good with vibrant and saturated colors, which can be adjusted slightly in the settings if you want. Consuming media content such as Netflix and YouTube is a joy as expected. The 120Hz refresh rate makes scrolling and navigating the interface silky smooth.
Now, I do wish that there was an adaptive refresh rate which would really help out with battery life, but that's just a nitpick from me. But also, I do love the under-display fingerprint scanner, which is a lot more accurate and faster than previous generations. Now, there is a dual speaker setup in the earpiece up here as well as the bottom firing speaker here. And audio sounds pretty good, it can get reasonably loud, but the bass could be a little bit better, in my opinion. We have One UI 4 built on top of Android 12, and with Android 12, there are a lot of interesting new features that I really appreciate, so let's check it out.
I love the color palettes which can be applied throughout the entire phone and matches with your wallpaper. It is a nice easy way to add some minimal change without needing to swap out a new theme pack for some personalization. I also like there's a privacy section in the settings where you can disable certain permissions in individual apps.
I mean, let's face it, does the camera app really need access to my contacts? Yeah, for me, I don't think so.
In the gallery, you have access to the object eraser tool, which lets you take out any unwanted object in your photos. Now, it is not perfect, but it is a welcome addition that won't have me finding any third-party app for the same feature.
So standby time for this has actually been not bad. I go to bed around 11 o'clock after charging it to 100%. And when I wake up around 9 o'clock, I lose maybe about 3% at most. So it's around average with standby time. Nothing spectacular, but nothing, bad at all. Now, I'm still kind of pissed that they don't really include a charger in the packaging with this phone, but it should go with 25 watts fast charging and 15 watts wireless charging. Now, your usage may vary, but from my normal usage, which includes playing games, streaming movies and TV shows, browsing the internet and whatnot, I mainly get maybe about 30% or less, or a little bit less at the end of the day. So it's definitely a battery life that can last you throughout the day.
This model we have here has the Exynos 2100. Now this may not be the Snapdragon 888, but from my use, performance has been pretty good, and playing games like Subway Surfers, Death Park 2 and Ronin The Last Samurai have been a smooth ride for the most part. During gameplay, the phone does get a bit warm, but nothing that is worrisome.
Now, I don't know why they did it, but there is no micro SD card slot. I love Android phones for their expandable storage, and this doesn't have it. I don't even think the normal S21 had it, so I don't know what Samsung's doing right there, but you're just gonna have to deal with the 128 or the 256 gigabyte versions of this phone. But for real though, like, it's a major letdown to me, and it just goes to show the cutbacks that they've taken, especially for this compared to the original version.
The phone has a triple camera setup with a 12 megapixel wide, an 8 megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Both the wide and telephoto cameras have optical image stabilization. Pictures taken with the main camera are really great, with nice detail, sharpness, and color reproduction. The ultra wide also captures great shots as well. Even zooming in shows excellent detail with barely any noise. Telephoto is good with it being at great quality around the 3x to 4x zoom. Past this point, however, you will notice a loss of detail and a lot more noise, but at most times you won't really need to go so far. Low light shots are also good thanks to the night mode. You'll get the best results with the wide camera when there is little noise and a great amount of detail. Just make sure you aren't in total darkness, because you will be getting a whole lot of problems. The front camera is a 32 megapixel wide camera and is also very good with it doing well replicating my skin tone and shows great detail. Video quality has vastly improved for the S line. As you can see here, the 4K 30 frames per second footage is crisp and very clean with solid detail and good lighting. I would say it is inching closer to that produced by the current iPhone cameras. Optical image stabilization is also good, because at the end here I sneezed and the footage was still very stable. For those who have never bought the S21 phone, then this is basically the same thing with just a couple of compromises here and there, such as the plastic back design. However, you do get benefits such as a bigger screen and a larger battery. While the S22 phones are clearly in the spotlight and have the latest and best features and specs, I'm giving this my seal of approval if you're looking for something cheaper but still up there with some of the best Samsung has to offer.
Thanks for watching my review on the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE. If you're interested in getting this for yourself, then check on the Amazon affiliate link in the description below. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll be notified of any new feature content that is released on the channel. Thanks again for watching, and please remember to live life and stay connected. Till next time.